We needed this. We have been screaming freedom for decades.
It's just hard to believe that he would invade another country, capture the president, take them out.
Now at 6, some Portlanders celebrating the capture of Venezuela's leader while others are condemning it. We'll bring you more local reactions, plus how local lawmakers are responding in this morning's top story. And this November, Washington voters could weigh in on 2 controversial education initiatives, including who is allowed to participate in girls' school sports in the state. And a cup of soup a day keeps the doctor away. We'll take a look at the local chain giving out 30 days of soup for just $30 coming up as your news at Sunrise starts right now. Good morning, and thank you for joining us on your Monday here. I'm China Green. Rod Hill, Chris McGinnis standing by for a look at your weather and traffic.
Yeah, you know what? All eyes, good morning, everybody. All eyes are on this weather system that moves in tomorrow and basically doesn't completely get out until it winds down during the day on Thursday. In purple, up and down Washington and the Oregon Cascades. Winter storm warning. We think a couple feet of snow easily. I don't want to jinx it. Again, that starts tomorrow. In the meantime, there's a weather system. Here's the moisture break for what's going to be a nice Monday. We do have some spotty showers currently up around Astoria. But overall, this looks to be a pretty dry day with partly cloudy skies developing. Early morning numbers are starting to drop off. We're at 42 degrees in Portland. Some of you are in the 30s. Mainly dry day, partly cloudy skies, a spotty shower threat, light winds, mid-40s midday, 48 for high at 2 o'clock. Here is Chris McGinnis.
Rod, thanks for that. Back to work, back to school for a lot of us. And you know what? We've got a nice, easy commute out there. So far, so good in the immediate metro area, but a couple of trouble spots across the region. Let's break them down. Interstate 84 westbound right now is closed out in the Blue Mountains because of a crash west of La Grande. The closure is a lengthy one. Not sure if weather had to play any role in that, but you can see that it is snow covered on Interstate 84 through the Blue Mountains this morning. South of Grass Valley in Wasco County, US 97 is closed. And if you're just getting up to speed after all the wild weather that we had last month, there are numerous freeway or highway restrictions across the state still because of cleanups from landslides. There's one of them, Oregon Highway 6 west of the Glenwood area, traffic down to 1 lane. US 101, whoops, we just missed that, north of the Lincoln City area, again, because of landslide cleanup. So just be aware of that as you make your way to and from.
Thank you, Chris. We have breaking news right now. The Washington County Sheriff's Office is responding to a standoff on Southwest El Dorado Drive in Tigard. The Sheriff's Office says a tactical team is trying to arrest a man who has barricaded himself inside a home, at one point using an armored vehicle to rip the front door off of his home. They say the incident first began as a domestic issue. The man is currently the only person inside the house. We have a crew on the way, and we'll bring you more details as we get them.
We're going to run it, fix it. We'll have elections at the right time.
That was the latest statement from President Donald Trump after he gave the order to capture ousted Venezuelan leader Nicolas Maduro on Saturday. And earlier this morning, a convoy carrying Maduro arrived at a Manhattan courthouse ahead of his first court appearance today. The U.S. indictment against Maduro accuses him of leveraging government power to promote criminal conduct such as drug trafficking and terrorism. Venezuela's Vice President Delcy Rodriguez, who has expressed her willingness to work with the U.S., is now the interim president. Members of Congress are divided, mostly among party lines, about whether the strike was legitimate.
Only Congress has the power to declare war.
This was not an action that required congressional approval. In fact, it couldn't require congressional approval because this was not an invasion.
Officials there say at least 40 people were killed in the attack.
There's no other way of get rid of this situation other than having a military intervention.
The woman you just heard from owns a Venezuelan restaurant in Southeast Portland. She says she left Venezuela more than 20 years ago due to hyperinflation, corruption, and limited opportunity for career growth. She says President Trump's capture of Nicolas Maduro was the only way to remove Maduro from leadership. But other people in Portland disagree with that. Locally, there were several protests held in opposition to the actions by the U.S. government. Jake Holter has the story.
You know, we're not going to stand for this. We're not going to stand for U.S. intervention.
Protests popping up across downtown Portland Saturday after the U.S. military captured Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro overnight.
It's just hard to believe that he would invade another country, capture the president, take them out.
Peter Parks out protesting with a personal connection.
My wife and I were in Venezuela like in 2004. We've talked to a lot of Venezuelan people. We've visited different workplaces, and I cannot agree with Trump's and his administration's analysis of what's going on there.
This is exactly the sort of international intervention that Trump campaigned against.
Democratic Senator Jeff Merkley experiencing some uncomfortable deja vu.
There are parallels that should haunt us to the action in Iraq. In Iraq, it was weapons of mass destruction, which was a cover story fed to the American people. In this case, the cover story was interdicting drugs.
Merkley claims it's actually about resources.
This is about oil. Venezuela has the largest oil reserves in the world.
President Trump making multiple references to Venezuela's oil in his address Saturday morning.
We're going to have our very large United States oil companies, the biggest anywhere in the world, go in, spend billions of dollars, fix the badly broken infrastructure, the oil infrastructure, and start making money for the country.
Senator Patty Murray from Washington took to X to write, quote, "It is outrageous for a president who is tanking our economy here at home to suggest that the American taxpayer spend a fortune to, quote, run another country while doing nothing to make life better in America."
The amount of people being out here on such a dime like this shows just how unpopular actions like these are, how much the U.S. people do not want war.
Jake Holter, KGW News.
Stay with KGW as we continue to cover this story and reactions from the community on air, online, and streaming on KGW+. 4 people reportedly from Oregon died in a helicopter crash Friday in Arizona. The local sheriff's office says the chopper hit a slack line that was strung across mountains near the town of Superior. The Oregonian reporting that all 3 passengers and the pilot on board are from an Eastern Oregon family. Family members posting on social media that the passengers are from Echo, Oregon, which is 20 miles west of Pendleton in Eastern Oregon. The sheriff's office hasn't confirmed where they are from. The NTSB is looking into the incident. At 9 o'clock this morning, a murder trial gets underway for Kevin West, a Kamiswashuko firefighter who's accused of killing his wife in 2024. Local officials say West initially reported that his wife was having a seizure and had stopped breathing. 2 months later, an autopsy by the medical examiner ruled that his wife had died by suffocation and blunt trauma to the neck. Her death was ruled a homicide. We'll have more on this in our evening newscast and on our website, KGW.com. Many people use the start of the year as a chance to cut back on things like drinking. It's becoming a tradition for some to participate in Dry January. And one local beer seller is catering to the sober crowd with NA Fest. KGW photographer Dan Arusha went to check it out.
Today we've got our 3rd annual NA Fest we've been doing to kind of honor the non-alcoholic side of the business. John's historically has been a beer store, but times have changed and people's palates have changed. We wanted to ride that wave of makers that are focusing on the non-alcoholic sector. I would say that we're seeing double-digit increases every year, given that there is that many more makers out there that are bringing the craft to the table. The variety and the quality is just accelerating. People come in here and they can try a lot of things and be here for a couple hours versus a beer festival or something else. You kind of have your limit. So empty your cup about what you understood as near beer and fill it with a new one and see what you think.
For the first time in its history, Elephant's Deli is letting people get half pint of any soup every day this month for just $30. That's a big discount considering a bowl of soup generally costs about $5. Company leaders say this deal is meant to help people start 2026 on the right foot.
It's part of an incredibly healthy ritual. I mean, having moderation and deliciousness and managing it and not overeating is part of what a lot of people are thinking about going into the new year.
You can buy a soup card in any of their stores or online, but you are warned supplies are limited.
You've been right to Elephant?
Oh yeah.
Delicatessen?
Yeah, it's up the street.
Yeah, their soup really good.
Very
This
good.
is high quality stuff. And you can overeat if you have soup, by the way. I've done it. Here's a look at our Timberline Lodge camera where we have some flurries up there, and we have about 6 inches of snow going back to Saturday night that has fallen. 24 degrees. Our Cascade Pass cameras do show some snow cover this morning. This will turn into kind of a partly cloudy day with a flurry in the air up over the mountain. Take advantage of travel today because we have the winter storm warning that starts tomorrow with the winter storm conditions all the way into Thursday up there, which of course bad news for travel, great news for skiers and boarders and for our overall water supply. Here's a Pioneer Park building camera. The bricks are damp from overnight showers, but it's been dry for the last several hours over downtown. 42 is the number. Salem 38. We've had a few showers in the past 60 minutes. Worked through parts of Cowlitz County. Kelso's at 44. The Dow's 38. Hood River reports fog. It's just down to 31 out in Burns. Weather map for today. Nice day, really. Light winds. We're going to get into the upper 40s here in Portland and Salem and Vancouver. Similar conditions at the coast with partly cloudy skies opening up and just a spotty shower threat. There will be snow showers out across parts of eastern Oregon and up into the Blues today into the afternoon hours. KGW weather impact alert tomorrow afternoon. That's when we're going to be getting into the thick of the steady rainfall. Heaviest rain rates look to be the evening, but this is the beginning of what could be a good batch of rain all the way through the night. It's occasional rain on Wednesday. It starts to break up on Thursday, and then we go on a dry run right now Friday, Saturday, Sunday, potentially into Monday of next week, and that's your update.